Hi, Jeff Cote here with boatingtechtalk.com. So we've got a question from a fellow boater, and this boater asks, Jeff, thanks for all your videos. Quick question on battery, discharge, and protection. Is it a good or bad idea to use a low voltage disconnect, or otherwise known as LVD, Lima Victor Delta? Well, that's a good question. So let's start from a higher level. All of us on boats really deep inside wish that the electrical system on our boat would be a little bit more automated and that we wouldn't have to be at the heart or the center of the electrical system to manage power and do all these different things to make sure that our electrical systems stay safe, reliable, and don't get damaged. One of these things or responsibility that all boaters have is to make sure that your battery bank does not get discharged too deep, right? We know that there's a huge price to be paid to bring a battery down from full down to maybe 10%, even 20%, all the way down to 0%, which is about 10.5 volts for a 12-volt battery. We know that. And as boaters, we're trying to prevent that. We're trying to not go to full empty tank. Same thing we do a car, you want to give a cushion, and a cushion on most batteries is 50%, AGM might be 30, Firefly might be 20, lithium is about the same thing, but we have a cushion. So you get full, all to a certain point, and then you give yourself a little bit of safety. These low voltage disconnects are devices that will actually disconnect a load whenever the voltage triggers to a certain set point. Sounds great. The challenge is when you start automating certain things on your boat, especially electrically, you're taking yourself out of the equation, and those LVDs, low voltage disconnects, are always going to be triggered regardless of what's happening on your boat at a certain set point voltage. So if you say, for example, I want my LVD to disconnect at 11.5 volts or 12 volts, whatever that number is, there might be a circumstance later down in the future where, you know what, maybe you're now damaging the batteries, but you have no choice. You're doing it because things are crazy. Your bilge pumps need to run. You're leaking, you're taking on water. It's bad seas. You need to communicate. There's an emergency that's happening that is you are deciding as the operator to tolerate a lower discharge voltage because you don't care. The most important thing to you is to be able to run the VHF, run the bilge pump. The challenge with these LVDs is they're going to disconnect your batteries, whatever you want it or not, at a certain voltage. And that's where I have a hard time. I'm not saying it's not a good idea, but as a boater, I'm going, oof, that's giving a lot of responsibility to a dumb device because that dumb device is black and white. There is no sort of ambiguity to if it's going to do it or not, and it doesn't understand context. It's not like, oh, you're out at sea, you're running the bilge pump, oh, I won't disconnect your batteries. Oh, you're doing something important and you've got a mayday and the battery voltage is going down, oh, I'm not going to disconnect your batteries. No, it's like every single time that the battery voltage goes to X, whatever you decide X to be, 10.5, 11, 11.5, whatever that number is, I will disconnect your loads. So the reality is I've never chose to install one. I know they exist, but I'm always hesitant to give away that amount of control to a device to protect my batteries. And I figure, you know what? I'd rather damage my batteries than ever have a situation where my batteries are disconnected from a load because some device, which I put in there to protect me from disconnecting the batteries, does so in a time of emergency and where I cannot afford to have loads disconnected. So then some people say, oh, I'm going to do only certain loads. So I won't disconnect bilge pumps, but I'm going to disconnect. And I'm like, disconnect what? Like a chart plotter? Would you disconnect a chart plotter and actually have it turn off if the voltage got to 11? I would say no. So then it allows you, okay, what about water? What if you're burned and you need water to put it on the wound? So you're going to disconnect your water pump because now your voltage is at 11? You remember, it sounds like a great device, but the applications for it depends. Some people like automatic generator starts and some people don't. I'm in the camp that an LVD sounds great. I thought about doing it, but I'm just always worried about the permutations when I actually need to be connected to the battery regardless of what it does to damage my battery. And an LVD, low voltage disconnect, would remove that ability from me, that control, and I can't do that. So that's why I never have installed it or I never recommend them. But hey, it's an opinion. There's going to be a bunch of people who are going to post their application. Let us know down below how you're doing it on your boat, why you like it, and then maybe I'll change my mind. So thanks for watching. Thanks for watching this video. Glad to donate my time to make these videos and to share our passion for marine electrical. Help us keep this channel ad-free by donating on PayPal, link below, or also potentially buying some of our merchandise on our store. We've got a hoodie, we've got a hat, and we also have some tumblers and other gear. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.